Hey, what's up? It's DecepySwag, and alright, can we just take a moment and kind of talk about this whole 30th anniversary celebration that's been going on with KOF? Because I'm not gonna lie, I got concerns, and I feel like a lot of y'all do too. But before we get into that, just want to say, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, help your boy out, and be sure to tap the bell icon to be notified for future uploads and whatnot. Alright, back to the topic. So for anyone new to the channel and just SNK stuff in general, it's the 30th anniversary of SNK's legendary franchise, the King of Fighters. Yes, the franchise that many of you know, Terry, Kyo, Iori, Rock, and many others that you've seen in these games. Granted, a couple of those are from their own franchises, but for the sake of the argument, you've seen them here. First releasing back in 1994 and has been releasing titles ever since. The most recent title being the King of Fighters 15, which, great game, you should check it out. Now, from August 8th till now, SNK has been running a celebration for the series, launching a website called KOF 30th that shows a wall of tiles to be revealed periodically of what new thing will be revealed. So we've had behind the scenes concept art, art posters, smartphone wallpapers, sales on games, and some stickers. There was also this crossover with KOF in a game called Another Eden, which I believe is like an RPG mobile game, and to be honest, I had no idea this game even existed. Like, as I'm reading this, I had to go Google and look up what that was, because one day I was scrolling on Twitter and I saw this anime like promotional thing. I was like, oh, okay, whatever. I see the main character of that game walk by and I didn't think nothing of it. But then I saw another character walk by. I'm like, wait a minute, that guy kind of looks like Kyo. And I was like, wait a minute, that is Kyo. What is this for? And then this promotional anime teaser thing they did for, I guess, this collab, which, granted, like I said, I don't know what this game is, but I gotta admit, they look kind of dope. The anime was fire, so, you know, here's what it is. Cool. Besides that, we had the KOF 15 special tournament that was held at Tokyo Game Show this year, and just recently we've been having this 30th anniversary Twitter page tweet out KOF quizzes. And if you don't know, SNK went ahead and made a separate Twitter dedicated to the anniversary, so I think it's called like 30th anniversary KOF or something along those lines. Essentially, it's a page dedicated solely to that, and they've been showing like artworks, behind the scenes things, stages, and most recently they've been doing these quizzes where you choose an answer based off the question and it'll tweet out some stuff, right? Look, I'm just gonna be honest. So far, this whole celebration has felt lackluster, and that's me being nice. If I want to be not nice, it's been boring. I'm gonna just keep it a stack, keep it 100 with y'all. It has been very lackluster, anticlimactic, man, whatever term you want to use, it has been that. Okay, I put up a community poll on my YouTube asking you all what you thought of this celebration so far, and out of 100 votes at the moment, over 65% feels so far they haven't been wowed yet. 15% says I'm loving the art pieces, and 20% says boring, stuff we already know. There were comments plenty in the replies of my post, and one in particular that stood out was by Darth Carlino saying, quote, "It's not bad, but it feels like they should have just had a different website for the posters and concept art rather than have it on X. I'm hoping they do something a bit more than a quiz or sale with the other 22 things planned." So real quick, shout out to you, appreciate you commenting and participating in the votes, and if you want your stuff read out loud, be sure to participate in the polls. But I understand where they're coming from with that. Sure, the art and stuff may not be necessarily what people are looking for or kind of fiending for at the moment, but there is a lot of folks that do enjoy seeing these behind the scenes thought process and the rough drafts of characters that either have been forgotten or early iterations of popular characters and things of that nature. However, why they don't have this on its own website kind of baffles me also. Instead of having it on Twitter where you got to scroll through a bunch of stuff, just put it on its own website so people can freely browse it. Now, as far as the 15% that are enjoying the art pieces and whatnot, cool. I'm glad you all are having fun with it. I'm glad you're liking it. I'm glad you're having a good time seeing how SNK went about and goes about creating a character, rough drafts, their details, and the nitty gritty. So I'm glad you all are enjoying it. As for the 20% that find it boring and it's stuff that you know already, I understand how you feel in that regard as well. There's a lot of folks that on Twitter and Discords and just the community as a whole that do also feel like this has been sort of a letdown so far. And again, like I said, I understand. To be fair, this is still kind of, I say early on, we got a bunch more tiles to be revealed. Like, it's a bunch of tiles. So maybe through the weeks into the rest of the year, we'll get something huge. But again, like I said, I know how you feel. It has been a bit meh so far. Overall, this celebration hasn't been terrible. Just like I said, man, I'm definitely of the mindset that SNK should have the website though. Now, a huge consensus, people are wanting some kind of big collection from SNK of their KOF titles, similar to what Capcom has been doing with their fighting game collections. If you don't know, Capcom has their fighting game collections. I believe the first one had like a bunch of Darkstalker games on there, or Vampire Saviors, whichever one you want to call it, some other titles. Then afterwards, they've had the just released Marvel vs. Capcom collection with a bunch of the X-Men versus Street Fighter games, Children of the Atom, all of those, you know, in those line of games, as well as I think there's like a Punisher arcade game from back in the day that's on there too, with rollback netcode, lobbies, ranked, casuals, all of that good stuff. And coming next year is going to be the volume 2 of that has CBS 1 and 2, Plasma Sword, Power Stone 1 and 2, what is it, Rival Schools, or aka Project Justice, and all of that good stuff. So Capcom fans been eating good, and SNK fans are looking at SNK like, hey, you should do this but with KOF. And for that, I feel like a lot of people would want KOF 11, Neo Wave, Neo Geo Battle Coliseum, and maybe the Maximum Impact games, you know, probably 1 and 2 in Regulation A or whatever combination of those. But of course, rollback netcode, lobbies, rank, you know, the fixins, the good stuff. That, however, I feel like would be saved for last towards the end of this whole celebration, but that doesn't mean SNK can't have cool stuff happening until then. I mentioned this a while back in another video, but I'm hoping for manga announcements, anime, and new collabs and stuff like that. We're getting Vice and Mature for 15, and part of me still think there's more to that, but again, it's just been feeling lackluster. But we still got a ton more titles to be revealed, so who knows. As far as the manga animation goes, I personally think it would be cool if perhaps, let's say, they announce a new KOF manga or a new KOF 15 manga. If you don't know, they do have manga of their characters and IPs going all the way back to the 90s. I think the most recent manga was of, what's his name? Shingo. Shingo somehow gets transported back in time. I don't remember exactly, but it was cool. I read it. Problem was, I don't think it was fully translated for English. I think it was only in Japanese. So I read it on some site, but there was that. Before that, they had the KOF 14 manga. I think it was called like New Beginnings. And I'm not entirely sure if that ever finished or at least got translated fully to English, but the art was amazing. So I was hoping with 15 came out, they would have done something like that, but we never got a KOF 15 manga. But like I said, with this celebration going, maybe we'll get like Ikari Warriors manga, or like a Iori manga, or Sacred Treasures, or whoever manga. And then maybe they'll do like an anime announcement, JoJo style, where we go through the different sagas and parts of the KOF sagas. So we get the Orochi saga, and then that allows them to expand and talk about things maybe that they couldn't do back in the day in the games, and then we move on to the next part. Because if you think about it, KOF is very similar in the way it's structured with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. You have your different sagas, and each saga has its own protagonist. So, part 1, Kyo. You know, part 2, K-Dash. Part 3, Ash. So on and so forth. And in between, each one could be its own season, and that allows them to give them time to work on the next part and have however many episodes. And while that's going at the same time, who's to say that they can't have another running anime of one of their other characters, or perhaps of their other IPs in general. Doesn't necessarily have to be tied to KOF, but it would make sense if they're KOF related characters, if you get what I mean. Then there's also the aspect of them talking about they wanted to revamp the KOF IP in general. I believe they said this about a year ago, year and a half, where overall they kind of want to expand the IP of KOF. Movies, anime, things of that nature. You get what I'm saying? So maybe that means more collabs, maybe that means more crossovers. We may see Kyo and Iori pop up in Street Fighter at some point in the future. I don't know. You know, I'm just spitballing here, right? This video is a more kind of freestyle. I got a script, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of freestyling this one. I'm just saying, there's a lot that they can do leading up to the grand finale of this celebration, which again, I feel like the grand finale will be a sort of SNK KOF collections, like I said, with KOF 11, Neo Geo, Neo Wave, Maximum Impact 1 and 2, Regulation A, whatever, so on and so forth. But for the time being, if I had to give this celebration at the moment a progress report, it would be like a C, like a C. It's just, man, it's average. Number one, please make a website just dedicated to this. Have the art, have the stickers, have all of that stuff there in one location, so it's easier for people to peruse, browse, click what they want to click, save what they want to save, all that good stuff. Make it easier for people to enjoy. Second, have it to where you're promoting it or have some big surprises in between. I know we still got a lot of titles, but something gotta like pop. You get what I'm saying? Something gotta grab people's attention. But other than that, that's pretty much all I have to say about this. As always, we reached that part of the video where I ask, what are your thoughts? Are you feeling kind of lukewarm about this celebration? Do you hate it? And maybe you're enjoying it. Do you want a big KOF collection of the games I mentioned earlier like Capcom does their collection? Comment down below and let me know your gaming thoughts. Till next time, I'm DecepySwag. Peace.